So we're recording and live.
Okay, thank you. Hi there. We'll be starting the meeting of the Newburyport Historical Commission in just a moment. We're just gathering a few more folks to join the Zoom meeting. So we'll be starting momentarily. Just beg your indulgence and patience. So, let's see. Okay. So Caitlin, looks like in the attendees, I just see our applicant here. So, and the architect, so they're here. We have one of our members is just struggling a bit with the Zoom system. So we'll just give him another minute or two, see if he can get in. And if not, well, we do have a quorum without Andrew. So, and Biff. So, see, I have 702, 703. We'll officially start whether they're here or not. Okay. In the old days of live meetings, we'd all be sitting around the meeting room, just kind of yucking it up, waiting before we officially started, but can't quite do that here. Just another few more seconds, and like I said, my computer says 7:03. We'll go ahead and kick it off with whoever is here. We do have a quorum, so. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to start the meeting. Andrew he's going to try to call in using a phone. He had some computer problems with the Zoom meeting, and he tried the link you sent, and he still had the same problem. So we'll go ahead and start, and hopefully he'll be able to join in just a few moments. I directed him to where he could get the phone number to dial in. So let's officially start this meeting of the Newburyport Historical Commission for the 8th of December, 2022. And please note and be aware that this proceeding, like all the other city virtual meetings, is being recorded. So we'll go through our roll call of the commissioners. We have Mark Sandrone. You're here, Mark. Test your audio.
Present.
Okay, good. We heard you. Yep. Christopher Fay.
Here.
Okay, good. We can hear you. Joe Morgan.
Here.
Okay, good. And we heard you. And this is the chair, Glenn Richards, speaking. We're looking for Andrew Bernhardt, should be joining us on the phone in just a minute or two. And Biff Baus apparently is absent. Also on the call, Andy Port, the planning director, and Caitlin Sullivan, planner, and Gretchen Joy, minute taker. Let's dig right into it. I don't think we're going to have a public comment period from the looks of things. So if we do, I can go over the requirements for that, but I think we can save a few minutes by skipping that for now. And we'll get right into a review of the revised demo plans for 182, 184 Merrimack Street. This is the structure that we reviewed a couple of weeks ago, and it's currently subject to the 1-year demolition delay. So that clock is already ticking and in process, and the applicant and architect have gone back and made some changes to their plans pursuant to or in response to some of the comments that were made at that meeting. So I'm going to invite them Hang on just one second here. So we have got Christopher Crump and Anthony Bonacorso. Chris, you're talking as actually you're technically both enabled for talking on our side, but Chris, I see you are unmuted. So why don't you tell us what's changed since you were here last?
Thank you, Chairperson. Yes, and good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So in response to the comments and suggestions from a previous meeting, it seemed like the commission was okay with the sides and the rear of the building. That wasn't the issue. It was more the front elevation of the issue was the issue. And so listening to their comments and thoughts, we decided to amend the front elevation to make it more accommodating to what you guys, what everybody was commenting about. So some of the elements that we have changed, the front entry covered way, we changed it to a gable entry instead of an arched roof line to keep it a little bit more intact and in context with the federal style. And we also decided to put shutters on the exterior of the front, on the front facade only, to kind of bring in that federal look and further enhance and give a little bit more detail and look and style to the front of the building. We took the panels off the corner boards and gave it the plain corner board look, similar to some of the other corner board styles that you see on federal homes. And then lastly, we adjusted the dormer at the top of the building, and we put a gable roof on it and made it a little bit wider, and still a single gable, but we kept it in context, and the grills on the dormers of the windows mimic the grills that are on the windows themselves down below. So we kind of felt that it kept the harmony of the size and the scale of the windows and the type of grills that are in the windows, and we feel very nice. We feel much better about it. I think we did take into consideration all of your comments, and we did. We found them very valuable, and we think that we've drastically improved the look and style and feel of this building to accommodate all the comments that were made.
Okay, thank you very much, Chris. I see in the attendees phone number ending in 543. Is that Andrew?
Yes, I just got on, and I'm at the web. I can't get on with Zoom, but I could see the drawings on the files on our website.
Okay.
So.
Caitlin,
Okay.
is it possible to promote a phone-in caller to a panelist, or is that even doable?
I just looked. Doesn't look like it. Looks
Okay.
like.
Yeah, it's not a feature available, unfortunately, for phone calls.
Okay. All right. But I will note that in my notes here that you were attended by phone.
Okay. And I will keep on trying to sign on. I don't know why.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks. Were you able to hear the architect's description of what changed there, Andrew? I'm not sure how long you've been on.
Yes, most of
great.
it, and I reviewed the files too prior.
Excellent.
So
okay,
I kind of know what's happening.
Okay. Well, thank you, Christopher, there for the architect, Mr. Crump. Why don't I go quickly around the board here, and just let me see here. In fact, since you're already talking, Andrew, any thoughts, Andrew, on the changes?
I like the changes on the top of the house, and otherwise I was fine with it actually prior as well. Yeah. So I think they've done a nice job.
Okay.
On that.
Okay. How about Mr. Morgan? How about you, Joe?
I'm satisfied with these solutions. I still feel strongly that the clapboard should be done in true wood clapboards rather than the hardy plank. I don't think the hardy plank is acceptable here. I'm okay with composite materials for any of the trim elements, but the field I think should be done with cedar clapboards.
Okay, interesting. Just as a point of information, it's for the last few years, this commission and other historical commissions have generally been, and I think Mass Historical Commission is on board with approving hardy plank type siding for clapboards, and in an application like this. I understand your point, of course. So.
Have we spoken before of that? I don't recall that we've ever talked about explicitly about the hardy plank as a substitute for.
I think where it was probably the ones where I seem to recall it specifically coming up, Joe, was I think before you were on the commission. So it goes back a ways to some of the projects that were before that time.
Yeah, and I don't want to impose a new standard here. If there's already precedent for it, then I don't want to. I don't want to create any noise there. But my reason for saying that is that hardy plank typically has an exaggerated figure in it that from a distance it may be fine given the particular lap spacing, but up close, the grain and the texture is different than what you would normally see. If you were to use a smooth texture on it, I guess there'd be no problem with that. So maybe that's the solution.
Yeah, and just as an aside, maybe Mr. Crump, it's worth looking into longevity. One of the whole points of using hardy plank is, less maintenance and longevity and all that. But I don't know if it's hardy plank or something else, but I know I've been seeing a lot of siding. It might be cementitious siding or something, but that's on old houses that is cracking, and not at seams, but just cracking. That's maybe on older houses. It doesn't expand and contract at the same in a way similar to the rest of the house. I don't know. I don't know why it's happening or much about it, but I do know that I've been seeing it on a couple of houses around town. Anyway, just a FYI there on that one.
A quick comment on it. Hardy plank, I do believe, has a smooth side and a textured siding available for it, but I'm just becoming aware of a new type of siding, and I'm not suggesting it right now, but it's something that the commission may look into. It's called LP Smart Side. And it's something of the same premise, but it's no maintenance in the end. It is made of a type of wood, and the thing that's nice about it is that it's much like cement board, but I think it's an actual wood product. And so it's just starting to come out and become popular now, but it's called LP Smart Side. Might be something to consider. The board or commission could consider for future projects in lieu of hardy plank. So just a heads up.
Okay, I'll take in. Is Smart Side one word or two? Do you know?
One word.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely check into that. Okay, Mr. Sandro. Oh, I'm sorry, Joe. Were you anything else, Joe? Or
I'm all set. Thanks.
Okay, Mark. Any thoughts on the revisions? Were you here last meeting? I can't. Yeah, you.
I was not here the last time.
Okay.
Yeah. So not being totally aware of the proceedings, I may pass, but I do echo Joe's feelings about the siding.
Okay. Yeah. If I don't know if you had it, did you have a chance to look at the original plans, Mark?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yes.
So you probably recognize some of these changes. Speaking for myself, I agree with both, pretty much everyone that's spoken so far, in that I think the changes to, while the dormer is not quite like a true federal dormer would be because of its width, but I'm inclined to accept it. It definitely going with the gable type architectures. It definitely improved the look, and the entryway is a little bit. It's kind of interesting. I've been looking around for those entryways that have that fan light curved fan lighting on top, and they do tend to have a rectilinear thing above them. So it's not, I don't want to go down a rat hole here, but anyway, this one is not quite what they would have done a couple hundred years ago, but overall, when you look at this, I don't think the effect is going to be jarring. In fact, I think it's sort of good that you can tell that this was a change or an addition, or that is an original, but yet done in a way that is harmonious with the rest of the structure. And I tend to be kind of a practical / pragmatic guy, so I look at the overall what's going to happen with this structure, and I think that certainly with the rear, I mean, I think we all agree it's a mess right now, and we really look forward to the changes you're planning for the rear, and I think the front is actually going to be much improved after these changes as well. The dormer, given the location and the type of setting it's in, it's not going to be highly visible, so I'm not even too worried about that. So yeah, so I'm pretty good with it as well. Any other comments from the board? I don't see any attendees, so there's no point in trying to open a public comment period. Yes.
I just want to let you know that Biff Baus joined a couple minutes ago.
Okay. Biff, I don't know how much of the discussion you've heard here. Did you have a chance to review the updated plans?
I did, yeah. And I'm sorry I was late. I got drawn into some my work responsibilities, okay. But yeah, I did, and I've heard most of what you have said, and I would echo a lot of that. I think a lot of things that we brought up in the last meeting about the the curvature and the other application of the shapes on the front, I think have really been addressed here. And I would agree. I think the opening on the front, how it's kind of, that pediment is kind of cut into with the fan light shape behind it, it's reminiscent, but yet obviously modern.
Yeah.
And so I think that definitely hits that nice balance of being appropriate yet obviously not original.
Yeah. Okay. So I think that's so Mr. Crump, you can take that as a compliment from us.
Thank you.
Would someone like to make a motion that these revised plans may be approved and lift the demolition delay?
It's Andrew, and I'm back on camera, and I will make a motion.
Okay, so let me just write this down to approve revised. So this is a motion to approve these revised plans submitted and discussed tonight's meeting, and lift the demo delay. So we can go around the board here. So Andrew, your vote on that?
Yes.
Okay, 1 second here. I gotta catch up with myself.
We do need to second the motion.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you very much.
And I will do so.
And who is that speaking?
Mark Sunderland.
Okay, thank you, Mark. So yes. Okay, and now we can go around. I'm sorry, your vote again, Andrew. I believe did you say
yes.
Yay? Yes. Okay. Yes. Biff Baus?
Yeah, yes, for me as well.
Joe Morgan?
Yes.
Okay. And Mark?
Yes.
Okay. And the chair is yes. And I think I'm sitting here thinking, where some of the membership has changed since this demo day was imposed, but I think that's okay. This isn't a continuance of something that was already started. It was, that there was a decision that had been made and a decision reached, and we're now, this is a, kind of a separate action to review this plan. So, so I think we're good there. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 affirmative votes, 4 being needed to pass. So the motion carries. So Mr. Bonacorso and Mr. Crump, you can, what we will do is notify the building commissioner that the demolition delay is lifted. So you will be able to procure permits and just make sure, and what is expected is that we'll be seeing these plans submitted tonight will be the ones that are executed.
Yep, absolutely.
All right. Well, thanks very much for coming back, and thanks for being responsive to our suggestions. I've said it before, but I'll just briefly reiterate. I think the project looks good. I think it's going to be a significant improvement to this neighborhood in which I myself reside. So I look forward to seeing it.
Thank you very much, everybody. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate your time, and have a good evening.
Yeah, thank you. You too.
And thank you, members of the board, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, and have a wonderful holiday, everybody. Thanks again.
You're welcome. Yes.
Glenn?
Yes.
I think you said there were 5 votes, but weren't there 6?
1, 2, 3. Yeah. Andrew, Biff, Joe, Mark, and me. Was there a 6th?
Chris?
Oh, did I skip Chris?
I wasn't here. I wasn't here when you first talked about this, so I wasn't sure.
Are you abstaining?
Okay. Well, why don't we put him down as an abstention, because it won't change the end result. I'm sorry, Chris.
That's all right. Yeah, I just figured I wasn't here, so that was why.
Okay.
When you first talked about this, I'll abstain.
That refers to what I was saying right after we did the vote, that I think it would have been okay, because it's not like it's a continuance of something that was kind of left hanging, which would have made it where you wouldn't be able, where you would, you know the deal about participating in that. But that was the decision. We had a review, the decision was made, and they've come back with a new or revised plan. So it's a reconsideration, and so I think it would be okay. I mean, Andy Port, does that sound like the correct interpretation of the legal niceties on that?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Very good. We got that one out of the way. Hang on a second here. Okay. Now, the only other thing we have is under general business. Andy, did you have any updates or anything you want to throw into the meeting?
Not off the top of my head. No, I'm happy. If there's any questions on particulars, let me know. I had quite a long day with lots of going on, so there's nothing that immediately comes to mind.
Okay,
but if there's anything you have questions about, let me know. Yeah.
Fair enough. I do have a couple of quick updates, and one I'm particularly excited about, and that's that we have an applicant for another member of the commission. One of the folks that Malcolm clued me into, a resident of Summer Street, Chris Sawtell. I don't know if any of you know him. He is a very long-time Newburyporter, and both he and his mom have been very interested in preservation. They've been restoring old houses and this and that. So he is very excited about joining the commission. He's very interested in the mission of the commission to preserve historic Newburyport. So, and he has already sent in his application to the mayor's office. So his process is underway. So I'm very excited to bring the commission back up to 7 regular members, and I'll continue. I want to contact at least, I think I'll have 1 or 2 other folks that Malcolm mentioned that I want to also contact to see if we can get 1 or 2 alternates as well, so that when folks can't attend, we can still be assured of a quorum plus. So that's that. I also wanted to ask folks about the next meeting. We talked about this a little bit, I think, before the meeting started. The next scheduled meeting is the 22nd of December. Do we have, is there anyone that knows that they will not be able to make it that night that's here tonight?
I'm uncertain at this point.
Okay.
Andrew.
Okay. Okay, and the next meeting after that is the 12th of January. So we do, because we do have, Caitlin thought that we might be able to cancel it, but then one of our local attorneys popped in with something for the agenda. So there is at least one item on that agenda. Hopefully it can be, like tonight, can be a fairly short, quick meeting. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Andrew, I'll make a note that you're not sure. So we'll check in as we get closer to the date.
Sure.
And we have of course, a couple other people. Biff, do you think you can make that one?
Yeah, I don't think I should have any problem.
Okay. Well, if we have, Biff and myself, Joe, Mark, Mark, did you say you probably could make the 22nd, or are you not sure?
Yeah, most likely.
Okay. All right. So we should be good then, Caitlin. And the only other thing is just a quick mention. Joe and I have been thinking about Haley's drive-in. This is not something that we have any legal jurisdiction over, but there is a major project going on down there. It's not particularly active right now because that particular builder / developer has got other irons in the fire at the moment. But Joe and I thought it'd be really nice to get some photo documentation of that place. So I will be contacting the developer, Minko, and see if we can just informally or unofficially go in there and take some photos. Obviously, we can take photos of the exterior. We can do that, with or without their permission, but it'd be nice to also get some of the interior, because the way that particular stand, you can tell that the original kind of ice cream stand was smaller, and they built it out towards Route 1, where they have the tables and everything. They made it more of like a diner with burgers and all that stuff.
Do we know what's the original building date of that?
I don't know. Caitlin or Andy,
1952.
Thank you. Who said that?
That was Joe.
Oh, thank you, Joe.
1952, there was I think it was called Emerald Dairy, opened there, serving dairy whip.
Oh, yeah. I remember now.
The soft serve of the mid-century.
You need to bring that back.
Yes.
It should bring that back. That's what they need.
Yeah, that was supposedly, it was really good. Okay, so those are the updates from me. So we have an official order of business to do here. One more is to hopefully you had a chance to review the minutes from the 10th of November. I did, and they looked good to me. Did anyone have any corrections or changes to those minutes for November 10? If not, why don't we do a quick roll call on that? Andrew, you were here. Now, this is a case where if you were not here in the 10th, you should abstain. So, Andrew, well, the motion is to approve the minutes of the 10th of November. So I've made the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, that sounded like Biff.
It was. Okay.
Andrew?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Biff, were you here last week? 2 weeks ago, rather? Okay, so your vote?
Yes.
Okay, Joe, I believe you were here. Your vote?
Yes.
Okay, the chair's a yes. Chris, were you here then? No, that's right. You just said you weren't.
No, I'll abstain.
And right, and Mark, I think you were absent, right? 2 weeks ago. Okay, so Mark, I don't know if you heard that. Were you absent 2 weeks ago, Mark?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Mark. And so we have 2 abstentions. Okay, but we still have 4 affirmative votes. So the minutes of the 10th are approved. So that's good. And everyone here tonight is able to make the next motion and vote on it, which is the motion to adjourn. So unless anyone has any other business, we'll be happy to hear a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting.
Motion to adjourn, Mark.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Is that seconded?
Seconded. This is Joe.
Yep, thank you, Joe. Okay, so Andrew?
Yes.
Okay, Biff?
Yes.
Okay, Chris?
Yes.
Okay, Joe?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
Okay, and the chair is also yes. It is unanimous. And that now we have 6 votes, Gretchen. Well, thank you all for attending. We'll try to keep, hopefully, I'm glad it was, we can all get back to our holiday preps or whatever it is we're doing. I know I've got actually a house full of company downstairs, so they'll be happy to have me rejoin the ongoing festivities. And so I bid you all good night, and thanks again for your participation.
Take care, gentlemen.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
Night, everyone.
Okay,
Night.
bye-bye.
Night.
Bye.
Good night.